Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to a very special edition of NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Tonight was a special edition of Smackdown Live. I'm assuming it was special because the show was the final WWE event in Brooklyn for SummerSlam weekend. We had 4 straight shows, starting with NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and then SummerSlam, and then Raw, and then tonight we had SmackDown Live. Very noteworthy show tonight. A lot of things happened. I have a lot to discuss. And before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you in the chat room for tuning in, participating in the chat. I do appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that has tuned in for all 4 straight nights of NoDQ Live. 4 WWE shows equals 4 NoDQ Lives. And it's been quite hectic, but it's been fun, and you guys make it even more fun. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. The NoDQ review begins now. We had Miz and Maurice kick off the show. No big intro, no video package. It just went right to the Miz and Maurice coming out and celebrating. Miz was doing his impression of Daniel Bryan's retirement speech. He was crying. He was upset. He said he was announcing his retirement. But then, of course, it was all a ruse. He was just faking it, crocodile tears. I would have enjoyed this more if it wasn't the same exact thing that Alexa did back in February and the same thing that Carmella did a couple of months ago. But Miz is Miz. He's still great, and one could argue that he did a better job than either Alexa or Carmella did. I'm sure people will debate about that. But nonetheless, Miz is always entertaining. Daniel Bryan came out and he called Miz a coward, and he kept repeating it. Every time Miz would start to talk, Bryan would call him a coward. Crowd started doing "you're a coward." Man, these fans were easy. The WWE scriptwriters can just have Bryan come out there and repeat coward 3 times, and then the fans start chanting coward. It's like Pavlov and the dog. Wow, these fans were pretty easy. Ham Connell with a $5 super chat donation. This New Day crap has to stop. They are boring, and it has gone on for 4 nut-slapping years. It's got to stop. Yeah, but the New Day has barbecue ribs now. I guess that's the new thing, which I'll get to here in a moment. Again, guys, I appreciate the super chat donations, but if you were going to leave one, please try to stick to the topic and not jump ahead too far, because then I get thrown off and then I annoy a certain portion of the people watching this video right now. So anyways, back to the Miz, Daniel Bryan, Maurice segment. Bryan came out, and then we had, I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to do it. We're going to need 500 live viewers for me to do it. Brie Mode, the music hit. Brie Bella came out to even the odds. Brie punched Maurice, and then, no kayfabe, candy ass, I'm not doing it. 500 live viewers and I'll do it. Tonight. Right now we're at 230. If we get to 500, I'll do it on this video. But that's the only time. The offer is completely off the table forever if we don't hit 500 tonight. So, Big G left a $4 super chat donation. And now he says, stop everything, State of the Roman Empire tonight. Thanks for the interruption, Big G, but thank you for the super chat donation. Head over to NoDQ.com/virtue at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific if you're watching this live. Check out Virtue and Big G's, if Big G shows up, that is, State of the Roman Empire address. Caitlin with a $2 super chat donation. Brie Mode. She was very happy, obviously, that Brie Bella made her return to WWE television. And it was announced that Paige approved a match for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It will be Daniel Bryan and The Miz in the ring again. However, it will not be a one-on-one match. It will be a mixed tag team match. Of course, Daniel Bryan will team up with his wife Brie Bella against The Miz and his wife Maurice. And we'll see if Birdie and Monroe Sky will be in the corners of their parents. You just know it's going to happen one day. 20 years from now, we're going to see Birdie versus Monroe Sky in a big WrestleMania match. I can picture it in my head now. TGS says record scratch or Brie mode. Oh, record scratch any day of the week. I'd rather hear the B Team's theme song than Brie mode. There you go. Sorry, Caitlin. My apologies, but that is the worst theme song. Although Stephanie's is right up there. So if you want to ask me, is it Brie's song or Stephanie's song? That one's a toss-up for me. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat donation. What did you think about Corey Graves' suit game? The suit he had on last night was so fresh and so clean. Nice Outcast reference there. And for those of you that remember NoDQ CW, that's a little Mr. Clean reference right there. I don't pay attention to Corey Graves and what he wears. Sorry. I do like Rockstar Spud's outfits, though. I did see what he wore at SummerSlam, and I think he's got pretty good fashion sense. He learns from the best, but Corey Graves, whatever. Jamie Lee Mack with a $5 super chat donation, Canadian, which is what, like $4 US? I was just in Canada, so I should know. Brie mode is still a slicer to my ears all these years later. Yeah, I'm sorry to Caitlin again, but it is the worst theme song. I was really hoping that with Brie coming back, she would get a new theme song. Maybe something a little cooler, maybe a rock theme song. Just something other than Brie mode with the auto-tune. It's so cringy. I'm sorry. It is like the most cringiest wrestling theme song of all time. But Stephanie's is right up there. Every time Stephanie's music hits, I'm like, man, I really want to turn off the television. That's how much it bugs me. And Big G says, stop hating on Brie's song. So Big G is a closet Brie mode fan of the theme song, that is. I'm guessing Big G, when he does his workouts, he's pumping iron to Brie mode in the gym. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to judge. I just don't like the theme song. But for those of you out there that like to work out to Brie mode, then good for you. All right. So let's move on here. Mojo's new theme song isn't that bad. His old one was complete garbage, but the one he has now is decent. I'd much prefer Stephanie went back to All Grown Up than the Queendom or whatever the hell it is right now. So I mentioned the match, which is now set for Hell in a Cell. We had a couple more super chat donations. You guys are being generous tonight. Power Spy In 1 Games with a £2 or €2 super chat donation. The cringiest theme of all time is X Factor. Yo, you're dealing with the X Factor. No, I like that one. I thought that was an awesome theme song. I know a lot of people hated it, but I liked it. Maybe that's why X-Pac had the X-Pac heat, because of that song. I must have been the only person in the world that actually liked it. Nelson with a $5 super chat donation. Which one can you tolerate? Ziggler's record scratch or Brie mode? Somebody just asked me that question. The record scratch. I'd much rather hear 20 record scratches in a row than just the beginning of the Brie mode song. All right, move on here. Enough of Brie mode. No more Brie mode talk. You guys are driving me nuts. And as far as Lashley's theme song goes, it doesn't annoy me. It's just a boring song. By the way, I know I'm getting off topic here. I'm just all over the place with this review. So I know I'm going to get the comments on YouTube, the thumbs down. You go all over the place. You're not focused on your review. But I just wanted to mention on Spotify, WWE released Uncaged 5, and they have the cool Bobby Lashley theme song, which he used for like one pay-per-view before he left. Hell Have No Name, or I don't remember the song title. Maybe it'll turn up on Wrestling Trivia Challenge, who knows. But that song is pretty cool. Why can Bobby Lashley not come back to that? Is it because it's a Jim Johnston composition? I think Lashley should be using that song. Andy with a $2 Super Chat donation. $2 because we're both CM Punk guys. Well, there you go. Thank you for that. Much appreciated, Andy. Mike B with a $5 Super Chat donation. Thank you for the awesome 4 nights of NoDQ videos. You do great work. Keep it up. You rock, Aaron. Thank you for that, Mike B. And your Super Chat donations are always appreciated. You're one of the most generous ones, and you are awesome. And Ham Connell, another awesome contributor, $2 here. Worst theme song ever is Rob Conway's Look at Me. Just look at me. I love that theme song. That one's great. But nothing will ever top American Males as far as being the greatest bad theme song of all time. American Males is just one of those theme songs that is so epically bad that I love it. It's one of my favorites. Bree Mode is just like, no. It just annoys the hell out of me every time I hear it. It'll never be entertaining for me. I will never remember fondly of it. I was happy it was gone. But I have to admit, I like to go to the gym and bust out some American Males. I will admit that much. All right. Moving on here. We have Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, a feud going back to 2007, 2008. This was a fun match. I enjoyed it. And Randy Orton got disturbing again. He started pulling on Randy Orton pulled on Randy Orton's ear, but no. I just botched. I have to correct it. Randy Orton pulled on Jeff Hardy's ear again. That is so disturbing. Squeamish when it comes to that, and a lot of people are, and I think that's why it's so effective. I love it when Orton does that. It's just a great heel tactic, and Jeff Hardy had enough. Jeff Hardy just snapped. He hit a low blow. He took a page out of the Shin playbook, Shinsuke Nakamura. Hardy started beating the crap out of Orton. They brawled all over the place, and then flashback to early 2008. Not quite as impressive, where we had Jeff Hardy jump off the top of the Titantron, or the stage of the Titantron. But here, Jeff Hardy jumped off the platform, doing the Swanton Bomb to Randy Orton through the table. Cool spot. I enjoyed it, and this was a fun little brawl. I like where the feud is going, and it looks like they're going to continue their feud with a match at Hell in a Cell. At least that's what has been announced on the AT&T Center's website, the arena in San Antonio, Texas. King Gary with a $2 Super Chat donation. What if Kurt Hawkins' first win is at the Royal Rumble? Not going to happen. Highly unlikely in all likelihood. But if it does, then I'm not going to say anything right now. I just don't think it's going to happen. I will dye my hair pink if that happens. How about that? And nobody will remember this stipulation, so whatever. Y2 Indian with a $2 Super Chat donation. First donation to you, Aaron. Love your work. Thanks. Thank you for that, Y2 Indian. Much appreciated. I'm looking forward to this Jeff Hardy-Randy Orton match. You know, they always have good chemistry going back to that 2007-2008 feud. These guys just have the chemistry working together. TJS says, remember when Jeff said the Swanton Bomb hurts him? Oh, I remember. I remember for sure. Marcus the God with a $5 Super Chat donation. Thank you for that, Marcus the God. What match should be in the cell? Great question. He says, Orton Hardy or Styles and Joe? I think Styles and Joe for sure. It's the WWE Championship match, and as far as I'm concerned, it should be the main event at Hell in a Cell. I think you definitely have to do that one. And considering how personal it's getting. But Orton and Hardy has been personal as well. I don't think WWE should do too many cell matches. I'm guessing they will do 2. But yeah, I think one of them has to be Styles and Joe. But that's a great question right there. I might even do a poll about it on NoDQ.com since WWE has not announced anything regarding matches inside the cell. I assume it's going to be 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown. And if that's the case, I would go with Styles and Joe for Hell in a Cell. No, I would not be a fan of every match being inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, that is like TNA Lockdown, and that was just overkill when TNA did that, when they had every single match inside a cage. It just gets old. 2 is the maximum, and even that I'm not really a big fan of. I'd rather WWE just do like 2 or 3 Hell in a Cell matches spread out across the year, no Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and you just do it when there's a good storyline reason to do it, rather than just say, okay, we have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up, we have to do a Hell in a Cell match. Don't make it mandatory. You just do it organically when there's a good reason to do so. Nelson with a $2 Super Chat donation. Styles and Joe over Roman and Braun? Question mark. I think he's asking me about Hell in a Cell, which one I would choose if I could only choose one. I'm not sure if that was Nelson's question or not. But I choose Styles and Joe in every aspect. Hell in a Cell match, main eventing the pay-per-view, which match I care about more, would definitely be Styles and Joe. So I guess that'll answer whatever your question was specifically. Kayfabe Candy Ass says, the words Hell in a Cell made fans tremble in the late 90s and early 2000s. Now it's just a match. Unfortunately, it is. All right, so moving on here. Next up, we had a backstage segment with Renee Young and The Bar. The Bar said they are going to challenge the winners of the main event, The New Day challenging the Bludgeon Brothers in a no DQ match. And you know what bothers me? WWE would not put hashtag no DQ on TV. They'll do it on social media, but they won't use the no DQ hashtag during SmackDown Live in the upper left-hand corner. Gee, I wonder why. King Gary with a $2 Super Chat donation. Best character in WWE NXT, I say The Dream. Wow, King Gary, I appreciate your Super Chat, but now you're just taking this completely in a different place. So let me try to get back to that at the end. Somebody remind me of King Gary's question so I don't forget it. I'll address that before I sign off tonight. But moving back to what I was trying to discuss, Anderson and Gallows showed up to interrupt The Bar. They also want to crack at the titles. They did some sort of comedy skit. Gallows was doing a British accent, I guess. I'm not sure who he was trying to do an impression of. Anderson was wearing some funny glasses, showed off his six-pack abs. By the way, if we hit 500 tonight, I'll show off my abs. How about that? So you guys have 2 opportunities to see me do something weird. I'll either sing Brie mode or I'll show off my abs if we hit 500 live tonight. Not going to happen. Chris May says it was the British Bulldog accent. All right, moving on here. So next week, by the way, it's going to be The Bar against Gallows and Anderson, I guess, to determine the new #1 contenders for the tag team championships. Naomi versus Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the Iconics, came out for their usual promo, taking shots at Brooklyn. Corey Graves got his little dig at Dave Meltzer, saying that he as epic as Hogan be of the Wrestling Observer newsletter back at World War III. For those of you that remember that, you have to go way back. I think it's on the WWE Network. He has the quote rag sheet that he sets on fire and says, "Observe this, brother." That was the best shot at Dave Meltzer ever on on national television. But anyways, back to the match. Naomi, Peyton Royce. I'm a little surprised we had Peyton Royce pick up the victory. Naomi hasn't really done much lately. I thought maybe she would get a win here. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, you know, I think they're more valuable as a tag team. Have them win a match as a team, but when they're in singles, I don't think they really need to be winning matches. Just my opinion, I think Naomi, the fact that she's been off TV for so long, she needed the win more. Didn't happen. Peyton Royce picked up the win here. So where does Naomi go from here? Who knows? All right, next up we had the Becky Lynch promo. Becky Lynch came out and apparently my sound is off. So let me know if that's still a problem here. Okay, people say I'm better now. Okay, so some sort of hiccup we just had. Hopefully I'm on sync and the words are coming out when my mouth is moving. Otherwise, I would be in trouble. All right, so Becky Lynch came out for her post-SummerSlam promo to explain why she attacked Charlotte after the match at SummerSlam. Becky did her damnedest to get the crowd to boo her. She was going off on the fans, saying they were not supporting her. There was no give Becky a chance hashtag. She was just trying everything possible to get the fans to boo her, saying it's about her. SummerSlam should have been about her, not about Ronda Rousey or Roman Reigns or anybody else. She just called herself an afterthought because of how people were treating her. And she said what happened at SummerSlam made her see things clearly. It didn't work. The crowd was cheering for Becky. They still cheered her even when she was putting them down. Charlotte Flair came out. She was angry. She ran to the ring. They started brawling. The crowd was still chanting for Becky. Even when Paige came out and had people come down to ringside, the crowd still chanted Becky. So time will tell. Will the fans react to her in a heelish way in the coming weeks? Will we see it happen in some random city like Nashville, Tennessee, or Corpus Christi, Texas? We'll see if the crowd does start reacting to Becky like a heel. But here in Brooklyn, New York, it did not work. The crowd saw right through it. They didn't buy it. So there you go. I give Becky credit though. As far as cutting a promo goes, she really tried her best here to make it work, but she could not successfully get the Brooklyn fans to boo her. Next up, we had Rusev and Lana against Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega in a rematch from the kickoff at SummerSlam. You got to have your rematches, right? Fine match, not a whole lot to it. We had Lana getting some time in there with Vega, and then Rusev got the hot tag and got back into the match. And then we had Aiden English show up. So Aiden English was not part of the kickoff, but he was part of this match. And he actually, instead of costing Rusev and Lana the match, his involvement actually helped Rusev and Lana win the match. We had Almas going for the steel chair. He was going to use it. And then we had English grab the chair. I guess English was somewhere backstage and ran down knowing that Vega was going to use a steel chair here. Whatever. But yeah, Rusev and Lana picked up the win. And I guess all is well in Rusev Day for now. Will it continue that way? Or will the breakup... Was this just a 1 week deal where Rusev Day are working together in harmony again? Time will tell. Oh, here we go. Time for a little rant. WWE intern Jay, you need to stop putting spoilers in your thumbnails. It's not a spoiler if it has already aired. I'm sorry, guys, but if you don't want to be spoiled, number one, don't subscribe to a spoiler website, YouTube channel. Stay off social media. I have to explain this all the time. When I don't want to be spoiled about, say, The Walking Dead or Better Call Saul, you know what I do? I turn off my phone. I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on Twitter. I don't go on YouTube. I stay off the damn internet until I can get on my television and watch that show. If I badly don't want to be spoiled, that is what I do. So if I can do it, other people should do it too. Especially when you're subscribed to a spoiler website. And it's not a spoiler when it airs. Once it is aired, it's fair game. It has happened. It is news. It is out there. It is a headline. New Day win the tag team titles. It's a headline. As soon as it happens, it's a headline. So stay off the internet if you don't want to be spoiled. Enough of my rant. I get it all the time, and I will continue to get it. I've gotten it for years now. And when I'm 60 years old, if we still have such a thing as spoilers or internet or whatever exists in 60 years, I'm sure I'll still get complaints. I'll be in my nursing home doing NoDQ live, and people will still complain. And as Braden says, I'm not the only site that does it. WWE does it. I am in competition. Believe it or not, NoDQ.com is not the only wrestling website out there. Believe it or not. There's other sites, and I'm in competition with them. If I don't have that headline and people are not watching my stuff, they'll go on some other website and watch their content or go read their review. So I am in competition with everybody. Keep that in mind too. It's all part of the business here of doing a news/spoiler website. And yes, I just said a spoiler website. All right, rant over. Let's get back to that SmackDown Live review. Next up, we had Renee Young interviewing the Phenomenal One, AJ Styles. AJ came out and he talked about SmackDown, and he said Joe crossed a line that a real man doesn't cross. And he said next time Joe mentions his family, he is going to rip his heart out. This led to Samoa Joe sneak attacking AJ Styles from the platform where AJ was being interviewed, and he proceeded to choke out AJ while a young kid in the crowd was yelling out, "I love you, Samoa." And here we go. Now everyone's plugging all the other websites out there, so I just opened a can of worms. Can we just... Whatever. I was going to say delete all the comments, but like 20 people are mentioning other sites now. So thanks a lot, guys. It's my own damn fault for even bringing it up. No other wrestling sites exist. NoDQ.com is the only wrestling website in the entire world. Just saying. And A Milano 20 says, way too negative. I'm not sure if he's talking about me. Oh, he's talking about JD from New York. I was going to say, if you're talking about me in this video, I actually enjoyed SmackDown Live this week quite a lot. So if you're saying I'm negative, then I give up. I don't know what else to tell you, at least with this video. But yeah, so I love the kid here saying, "I love you, Samoa," as Samoa Joe is being a dastardly heel choking out AJ Styles. This was great. And Nelson with a $2 super chat donation says, "No DQ greater than all wrestling sites." It is, because I will speak my mind, and I'm not trying to pretend I'm something I'm not. Some people take the journalism very seriously. They wear their suits and ties and they watch their P's and Q's. I'm not like that. I'm just a guy in Portland, Oregon, just trying to have fun with what I'm doing, enjoy life, and talk wrestling with you guys. That's all I'm doing here. And I have no agenda. I'm not trying to kiss up to anybody for an interview. I don't care. I just watch the shows, give my opinion every week, and I enjoy it. So that's what I do. It is what it is. No hidden agendas, no bias, nothing. What you see is what you get. So if that's the criteria for what's the best coverage, then I'm the best. King Gary with a $2 super chat donation. Next challenge after Joe for AJ. Interesting question. I would hope that Joe and AJ are going to feud for a while. I would like to see this feud play out over several months. Maybe one more person will challenge AJ. Maybe it'll be Randy Orton. Because I still think, I'm still going with my theory that AJ will break CM Punk's record. He will defend the title at Royal Rumble, maybe against somebody like Randy Orton, and then it'll be AJ versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That's my prediction right now. I have no idea if it's going to happen, but to me, that's your WrestleMania main event, other than Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte and Roman Reigns versus whoever, whatever. Josh with a $2 super chat donation. Thank you for that, Josh. AA Ron rocks. Thank you for that, Josh. I appreciate it. You guys all rock. Part of the fun in doing the live videos, and this is my favorite thing about doing NoDQ now. I enjoy this more than doing NoDQ video, and I do love doing the panels, but I have to say, doing the live videos with the chat room is the highlight of my work week, because you guys are awesome and you contribute, and it's just a lot of fun bouncing off ideas off of people. And by the way, so let me do a cheap plug, since I do like interacting with you guys so much. Coming up Thursday, August 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, NoDQ presents Call In. I will be doing a 2-hour live stream. I will be taking Skype calls the entire 2 hours. I hope that Wasim guy calls in and cuts a promo on me. If you guys want to call in and cut a promo on me, please do so. Especially the people that don't like me. This is an open invitation. NoDQRift@gmail.com. That is my Skype email. And if you are somebody who doesn't like my opinions, you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm too negative, please call in. It's called Call In after all. Let me repeat the date one more time in case you missed it. It's Thursday, August 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Open invitation to anybody out there, whether you're a fan of me or you despise me, you intensely dislike me, you hate me, regardless, call in. I will give you an open forum to express your opinion. So there you go. By the way, thank you to everyone watching live. We are at 250 now. Not at 500 yet, so thankfully I don't have to show off my abs just yet. Let's move on here. I'm looking forward to AJ and Joe, the next step. Hopefully it's Hell in a Cell. And then we had the main event, which was a no DQ match. Unfortunately, no DQ hashtag in the corner, which made me a sad panda. Would have been some nice promotion. It was the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day, and representing New Day, it was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. By the way, real quick, there was a backstage segment earlier on the show. I think I did mention this earlier, but I'll touch upon it again. The New Day were backstage, and Big E had his ribs taped up, and he was eating ribs. So is this the New Day gimmick? They went from ice cream to pancakes, and now New Day ribs? Maybe we'll get some JR barbecue sauce to go with these ribs. So we'll see if New Day makes this their new gimmick with the ribs, or if it was just a one-week joke. Before we know it, New Day's going to cover like the entire food pyramid for their gimmicks, as long as they're going to be an act. And I have a feeling they're going to be an act now for a while, you know. King Gary with a $2 super chat donation. Are New Day and Usos considered all-time greats? I think they're on their way. New Day for sure, and Usos probably as well. New Day, WWE is trying to make New Day the greatest tag team of all time. New Day already surpassed Demolition with the tag team title record. And now they're 5-time tag team champions. 5-time WWE tag team champions of the world. And of course, the backstage rumor is that WWE wants them to surpass Edge and Christian or the Dudleys. I'm not sure which team has the record. I failed to beat Greg Cherry at trivia. I admit it. I'm not the trivia expert that Greg Cherry is. But yeah, WWE apparently wants New Day to break that record and have New Day as the greatest tag team of all time. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, this was a great main event. This was a pay-per-view quality match. And yes, it was even more impressive because Eric Rowan was hurt. Eric Rowan is reportedly going in for bicep surgery, which is the same, unfortunately for him, the same exact injury that he had in 2015, and he missed about 5 to 6 months of action, which is looking like it's going to be the same thing. He basically has the same injury. Just really sucks, and it does happen to guys. Sometimes it can be career-ending. Going back, Del Wilkes, the Patriot, had repeating bicep injuries, and he had to retire as a result of it. He had to at least leave WWE. That's why his run in WWE was so short, because he injured his bicep, and it was an injury he kept getting over and over again, so he could just no longer compete at that level on the big stage anymore. So yeah, bad break here for Eric Rowan, and it looks like this is the end of the Bludgeon Brothers, with Rowan being on the shelf. Maybe Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper get back together. Bray Wyatt doesn't have a partner. Luke Harper doesn't have a partner. Maybe Luke Harper goes for a singles run again. Maybe he gets lost in the shuffle. Hopefully not. Harper's one of those guys, I think a lot of people consider him to be the most underrated guy in WWE. A lot of people think that guy can just be a top guy if WWE gave him a chance. He's really a great performer. Harper, I remember last year's WrestleMania. He should have been part of that triple threat. So we'll see what happens. I hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Maybe he'll be the new leader of Sanity. There's a lot of different things you could do with Luke Harper if you had some creative people in charge. And we'll see. Like I said, creative people in charge. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, this was a great main event. This was a pay-per-view quality match. Should have been on the pay-per-view. This always happens, and I mention this a lot. It seems like more times than not, the rematch is always better than the pay-per-view match. And it bugs me because the pay-per-views, especially a pay-per-view like SummerSlam, should have these epic matches that you remember for years to come. The match at SummerSlam was just filler. And this was a pay-per-view quality match. It was just a crazy brawl, weapons all over the place. I love the spot where Harper threw the announcer chair at Kofi. Kofi took a great bump there, and that was a rare chair shot to the head on WWE television. I guess it doesn't count because it's the announcer chair, but quite frankly, I'd rather be hit I'd rather be hit in the head with the actual folding chair that WWE usually uses for chair shots than that big-ass announcer chair. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat donation. As stale as their act is, they still put on quality matches. Do you think this is part of the reason Vince has decided to keep them together? Absolutely. And I don't want to be a dick here, but it might be politically motivated as well. People always say, WWE doesn't push black wrestlers enough, but I'm not trying to say anything. These guys are extremely talented and they 100% deserve it. And Kofi is the man. Kofi, as far as I'm concerned, is Hall of Fame material. He's as good as anybody in WWE, and he's had so many great moments. I mean, look at his career over the past 10 years. He went from ECW to a feud with Randy Orton, and he's been part of so many great Royal Rumble moments. Kofi is the man, and all three of them are extremely entertaining. So they 100% deserve where they're at in WWE. So hopefully people didn't take that comment the wrong way, but I think subconsciously maybe WWE wants to push these guys so they can show sponsors, hey, look what we're doing here. But these guys absolutely 100% deserve it. They are three of the best performers that WWE has. 100% deserve it. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying here and don't take it the wrong way. Chris Mace with a $5 super chat donation. Don't forget King Gary, earlier question. Also, did you get my submitted questions for Wrestling Trivia Challenge and submit them to Chris Cast? Thank you. Well, thank you for that, Chris Mace. I did get your questions, and I will send that over to you, or send it over to Chris Cast shortly. I haven't sent them to him yet, but we are working on getting all the questions together for the rest of the season of Wrestling Trivia Challenge. So thank you for sending that. And yeah, let's not get into politics or politically correct stuff. I mean, WWE does politically correct stuff all the time. I mean, there's so many different ways, like with Evolution and all the PR stunts that they do. WWE's always trying to do something and push a certain character at a certain time to tell people, hey, look what we're doing. We're doing great stuff here. We're changing the world. You know, the world is political. It is what it is. But the cream rises to the top, and, you know, New Day, they absolutely deserve the championship run. Nelson with a $2 super chat donation. Does Kofi deserve a title match versus AJ Styles? I would love to see it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that would be an amazing match. I would definitely love to see it happen. But New Day, they're doing their thing as a tag team. And maybe WWE's idea of changing them up is to have them shill ribs now. Like I said, they're gonna end up representing the entire food pyramid before their run is over. And maybe that's how WWE feels that they're going to stay fresh. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And by the way, let me finish the recap of the match here. But first, Paul Jackson, 1988, with a $5 super chat donation. If Omega signs with WWE, could he challenge AJ Styles for the WWE title at WrestleMania? That would surprise me. First of all, I don't know if Omega's going to sign this soon. I think the timing just isn't right. And maybe the Young Bucks will sign, maybe they won't. But I feel like with so many guys already being pushed at this point, so many guys getting lost in the shuffle. I said it before, I think Omega and Young Bucks would avoid getting lost in the shuffle. But still, you want to wait till there's a great opportunity to come in. Look at AJ. He came in the right time. He came in when Rollins was hurt, when Cena was hurt, when all these other guys were off television. Orton was hurt. He came in when there was a good opportunity to come in and take a big spot right away. So we'll see what happens. Anything's possible. Never say never. At the end of the day, Omega is a businessman. Young Bucks, they're going to do what's best for their families. And if WWE makes the right offer, then I think anything is possible. I do think they will end up in WWE one day. Just a matter of when. So real quick, back to the end of the no DQ match. We had Rowan with the rubber mallet try to attack Kofi. Xavier saved Kofi from getting destroyed, and Rowan crashed into the barricade, and then there was a table set up in the ring. By the way, there was a sick bump also where Harper and Rowan did the crucifix power bomb to Kofi through the, well, not through the ladder, just on the ladder. And that was a sick bump. Kofi, like I said, is the man. He took some crazy bumps in this match. And then for the finish, we had Rowan taken out going through the barricade. And then Harper was set up on the table. and Xavier Woods did the flying elbow through the table. New Day capture the SmackDown Live tag team titles for the 5th time. Great show. Awesome episode of SmackDown. One of the best episodes of the year, despite a few issues I had. Becky Lynch's promo, she did a great job with her delivery, but I felt like it just didn't work out the way WWE wanted it. Maybe it will in the coming weeks, so we'll see how things go. I think the jury's still out on it. So I'm not going to give it the best grade possible, but this was one of the best SmackDown Lives of the year. So I am going with an A- for this week's SmackDown Live. Great show. I don't think I say that too often, but this was a great SmackDown. I definitely recommend watching it. Very little filler on this show, which I like too. Storylines were further developed. The Becky Lynch, Charlotte thing, regardless of what people think, it did advance that storyline. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, that was advanced. Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy was advanced. You did the big Swanton bomb spot. The main event was excellent. So yeah, this SmackDown did what it needed to do and even set up a match for Hell in a Cell. Got Brie Bella back. Nice return. So yeah, not a perfect show, but a really, really strong one. So there you have it, A- for this show. Nelson with a $2 Super Chat donation. Who wins, Too Cool with Rikishi or New Day? Are we talking in real life? Are we talking about a worked match? I would say New Day, because New Day has had the longevity. I mean, I don't know how to answer these fantasy questions, but I would say New Day wins because Rikishi and Too Cool, I mean, they would goof off a little bit, although New Day does too, but I would go with New Day. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention Shinsuke Nakamura. He did a little promo, just promoting himself as the United States champion, and we'll see who he feuds with next. Maybe it'll be Luke Harper. I know a couple people in the chat room brought that up as a possibility. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so before I wrap this up, I did promise I would answer King Gary's question, which I unfortunately have forgotten about. So somebody remind me what the question was. I did say I would answer King Gary's question, but I totally blanked out on what it was. This is why you guys got to ask me the random questions at the end, because I will forget, and I don't want to forget the Super Chat question. So somebody remind me. Something about Velveteen Dream? I don't remember the question specifically. What about Velveteen Dream? Oh, best character, whether it's WWE or NXT. As far as NXT goes, has to be Velveteen Dream. He's been fantastic. The guy has the it factor, and he's 21 years old. He's going to be the next big thing in WWE unless something unforeseen happens, like he gets hurt or he just loses his passion for wrestling. He's well on his way to being a really big deal in WWE. And as far as main roster goes, that's a tough one because we don't really see characters with a lot of layers on the main roster. I mean, I'd have to say Daniel Bryan just because he's such a likable personality, and maybe Braun Strowman just for being a total monster, doing all the cool stuff, tipping over ambulances, and getting up with 20 ladders dumped on him. So Strowman is definitely one of the better characters in WWE right now. Chris Mace with a $2 Super Chat donation. Who would beat Nakamura for the U.S. title? That is a loaded question. I don't even know who he is feuding with next, but I will take a wild guess and say it's going to be somebody like maybe Luke Harper. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just trying to think who fits in. Maybe Rusev. You know what? I'm going to go with Rusev. I'm going to say that this feud's going to wrap up pretty soon with Almas and Rusev, and Rusev will eventually be the guy to beat Nakamura for the U.S. title. All right, guys, so on that note, I will go ahead and wrap up this edition of NoDQ Live. This was a great video. This was a fun video. I'm sure I'll get some criticism for going off topic too much. I'm sure Somebody will say I'm a racist. I've been called a sexist, a racist. You know, it's just par for the course. WWE is a politically correct company. It is what it is, and they have their reasons for doing things. It's something people don't like to talk about, but you know, I will touch upon it every now and then. Oscar with a $2 super chat donation. Thank you for that, Oscar. No comment. I was going to talk about something else, though, but I will go ahead. Well, actually, he did leave a comment here, so I'll read it off. Since Becky is getting the crowd behind her, do you think WWE might consider turning Charlotte heel and keeping Becky face? I don't think the fans will go against Becky anytime soon. Anything's possible. If it was me, I think I would at this point. We'll have to see how the crowds react over the next couple weeks. You know, I think in Middle America, or now I'm being anti-Middle America by saying this, so people just criticize me for everything. Just in some random city, anywhere, pick a spot. Portland, Oregon. I'll just say that to save my own ass here. WWE, if they go to Portland, Oregon, Becky Lynch might get booed. And if that's the case, then maybe WWE can make it work. But if she keeps getting cheered over the next couple weeks, then yeah, if I was WWE, I would seriously consider rethinking this and having Charlotte be the heel in the storyline. So you got to give it a few weeks to see how the fans react. But maybe it could have been done a little bit better. Maybe Becky could have come up with something else other than the typical, you fans stopped caring about me, and just being desperate with coming up with something to get the fans to cheer for the other person. So yeah, maybe it could have been done a little bit differently, but maybe nothing. Maybe Becky could have taken the New York City flag, the city flag, whatever it is, and wiped her butt with it, and the crowd still would have popped. DJ Whitey with a $5 super chat donation. I missed the stip for 500 views earlier. What was it? Did we reach it? It's time for a new stip soon. Maybe a tattoo or some sorts. Tattoo is no. That ain't happening. The stip was if we hit 500, I would show off my abs, but we are under 200 now, so that ain't going to happen this video. And there was another one. I forgot what it was. Oh, I was going to sing Brie Mode, but that was a one-time only offer. We did not hit 500, so sorry, guys. All right. I will go ahead and wrap up this edition of NoDQ video. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com, the only wrestling website in existence. There are no other ones. NoDQ.com is the only one. And hold on a second. Jesse with a $5 super chat donation. Can we get a, quote, highly unlikely and all likelihood t-shirt? Never say never. We do have November coming up. And November is when Pro Wrestling Tees does their Thanksgiving holiday sale. They usually do 20% off all orders. And I'm always looking to put up some new merchandise around then. But in the meantime, head over to NoDQ.com/shirts. There are 24 designs on there. And as much as I love the super chats, buying a t-shirt is even better. And going to an indie wrestling show repping NoDQ. Cindy did it. Cindy went there, got a picture with James Ellsworth. Ellsworth actually admitted that he was a big NoDQ fan for several years. I don't know if he still is or not, but he was familiar with the site, so I thought that was pretty cool. And shout out to Ethan HD, who's an indie wrestler here in the Pacific Northwest. He actually told me that he was following NoDQ back when it was WWFWCW.com. So that was awesome to hear that from him. So go check him out. Follow him on social media. Ethan HD, great independent wrestler here in the Pacific Northwest region. Excuse me. All right. So on that note, oh, by the way, you can also pick up a Kayfabe Candy Ass t-shirt. He does a great job moderating, so show him some love. Head over to NoDQ.com/shirts for that. All right, guys, on that note, I will wrap up this edition of NoDQ Live. Thank you all again. And, oh yeah, Interstate Kyle. Go grab one of his shirts, too, even though he doesn't do anything these days. But he did send in a super chat earlier, so go check him out. And go follow his channel, Interstate Kyle. That's all I got for this edition of NoDQ Live. I will see you all. And by the way, if you're watching live, go watch Virtue's Rage. NoDQ.com/virtue. Quick plug for that. That starts here in a few minutes for those of you. Actually, I think it already started. Should I just keep going and go head to head with them so they have like no viewers? That would be a dick thing to do. I'm not going to do it. As soon as I sign off here, for those of you watching live, go over to NoDQ.com/virtue. I could be a jerk, but that's not my nature. Go watch Virtue. Maybe he's waiting for me to sign off here before he starts. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be a jerk to him. Head over there, NoDQ.com/virtue, and I will see you guys next time.